Have you ever feel that you're losing hard? That there's no way to win? Have you hovered the resign button? Well, today my friend, in today's video, I will show you that no matter how hard you're losing, if there is life, there is hope. Today we are gonna analyze this long game I had. It's 45 turns, like as you can see, 45 turns of a game I have against a grad player, AWBW on my old account, Cyrus guy. This was an epic game, very long game. It was so much fun playing this team, and I want to show you guys that even if you're losing hard, there's still a small chance that you can still win the game. So let's start. I go first. I'm player 1. I'm playing Will. Of course, Will is a cartridge seal. There is 60 sun expansion, 60 for energy, 2 sun. Day to day, 30% firepower to diagram units, 10% defense and firepower to everything else. Super seal power to movement. Simple and everything. Just a very simple seal, my main. And of course, Grad. A 0 zone seal, which means it only buffs the seal unit. Has a sun expansion of 20 at 50 and a super seal power of 50 energy. Her day to day gives 10% firepower and defense like every other seal, and she gets a +1 attack range, which means that the seal unit is technically an indirect and a direct unit at the same time. Like it can move and shoot like a battleship. And super seal power is one of the most broken seal powers in the game. It is that, but to everything. So everything is 2 range, can move and shoot. It's impressive. Like this is one of the most banned seals in the game. Like I will show you her ban rate right now. Like if we check the statistics, Grad is 120% banned. One of the most banned seals in the entire game, because it's very hard to play against her. She changes the rules of the game completely. It's kind of like Tabi, but let's see this game. I am red, I'm playing Will. I start with 2 infantry, of course. Opponent goes for the city, 2 infantry too. On a hop for hard round, there's 2 ways to play the opponent. You can go for the city first, and then you move to the factory, to the base, to take the city and then go for the base, or you can skip the city and go directly for the base for unit count. It's better to go for the city because it allows you to deploy 2 bikes immediately, and it's more early game bike allows you to go immediately to these properties over here or to the center. I go for the city first because I want to deploy 2 bikes, and I'm playing Will, so every bike that I have is a potential unit that I could use for a 2-hit KO to enemies infantry. He goes for bike infantry. He did the same as me. He goes for the city first as a principal player. I go for the city over here, and just the capture game is very simple. Again, as I said, because I go for the city first, I'm allowed to deploy 2 bikes, and opponents also are able to do the same. He can deploy 2 bikes, as you can see. And you go for the cities. The capture game is everything that you would expect from a normal capture game. I just go for the properties. I send this bike over here, trying to capture the comp tower first. I expect to get into a fight quickly because I'm playing Will and I'm playing Grad against Grad. She probably wants to get into a fight quickly, so I wanted to get the comp tower first so I can get into a fight quicker right now. I also go for the city. I go for this one over here, so the next turn I can, for example, this one. I wanted to try to get this one because it's more contested than this one over here. Sometimes because my opponent's playing Grad, the whole center is gonna be a very dangerous skirmish fight. Like there will be a time that I will have to lose the cities eventually, because I cannot just go fight her seal unit directly, because The extra range just let him take very safe engagements. He also goes for the camp tower. He's buy another bike and set it to capture over here. I am fine with that. I'm just capturing properties. I'm setting this infantry over here to capture here, and I put the tank in top of my HQ. That's gonna be my rule CO unit, and I just send it there. By the way, I'm sorry for not posting much videos lately. I've been busy with the university lately. A lot of work to do. I buy a tank over here. I want to start attacking over here, this area over here. 2 tanks, 2 bases versus 1 base. Same over here. I want to attack over here so I can maybe capture the enemy's camp tower. He goes over here for this city. These 3 cities over here are the one more contested. He goes for a tank. I don't remember very well if he puts it on top of the SU or loads immediately. Of course, Grad's tank is a very dangerous threat. It has 1 extra range. It has 0% firepower and defense, but just because of the extra range, it's so safe to take an engagement with that thing. I decided that, okay, he's gonna go here. I didn't load for one simple reason. I want more tanks than him because I was expecting that he was gonna load, move to the HQ and load, so I can do the same, and I will have more tanks than him. If I had more tanks than him, no, actually I went tank over here because I was planning to load here, so I can send all these 3 tanks over here and start taking the camp tower. And as I was expecting, he did go for the HQ to see a load Grad there, and he put a tank over here. Again, my plan is to move all my units over here to start attacking and grab the camp tower. I do not want to fight Grad directly, no sir. I continued with my capture and started to go for the airport now. I had a little bit later, as I said, I did load over here so I can start attacking over here. Then I go for the airport. I had it a lot later than him, so very good capture for my opponent. He did get the capture faster. I moved my tank over here only so to put some pressure over this side of the board, because he did go for another tank, and I bought an anti-air because I was expecting a battle copter this turn. Go for an artillery. Of course, because this is the side that only has 1 base. You really want to stall out this side of the map, because in some higher level games people tend to trade this base over here, and then because up versus down. He didn't see your load. I was kind of curious why he didn't see your load, so I decided to, you know what, if he's not gonna see your load, I'm just gonna move my tank over here. And now this is a big mistake by my part. I buy a missile. I was expecting a lot of battlecopter spam from this airport, and I was right. This missile, hear me out. This missile over here, I'm not gonna spoil it, but this missile, even though it is a mistake, it was really great. One of the best mistakes in my life. Now, this artillery, again, I'm planning to stall out over here. As you can see, I'm already building a little wall of infantry and bikes. I was expecting him to stay, because this tank over here is staying there. I was expecting him to load, so that's why I didn't go for the center, because I don't want to give him any kind of energy. And as you can see, he did fact load the tank and start turning this infantry over here. If you just want to get energy with Grad, I hear that it's better anti-air. Tank is still very solid, and as I was expecting, he was going to spam battlecopters. But here's the thing, because I have a missile here and an anti-air coming over here, this battlecopter cannot go over here. If this missile gets here or here, it will turn all this area over here into no air area. So this battlecopter has no option that always gonna go over here. Give me a little bit of time to build another response. He's starting to wall up over here. He didn't even capture this over here. I sent the missile over here again, and I started to move my tanks over here. I was expecting a fight over here in the center. I don't want him to start getting some captures over here. So I switch my plan to back over here. He has too much quadricopters. I don't only have one anti-air. It's gonna take a lot of time to my missile to put over here to start harassing these quadricopters. He moves the tank a little bit back. I didn't understand that a little bit. But again, this tank over here is threatening all this space. I cannot go capture these properties. He started building a wall too over here. He has an artillery. He was gonna put it over here and start protecting it with everything he has. Again, because there's a missile over here, all these quadricopters have to go to the center. And I already have an anti-air there, so I'm completely fine for now. And he's building a wall over here with infantry on bikes. Move my missile to the center so I can start covering more space around more this area. Since he's sending a lot of quadricopters over here, I was expecting oh sorry, I gotta go. Anyway, I sent my tanks over here back. I do not want to fight those things over there. I start building a little wall over here, pulling my stuff back. He buys another quadricopter. I was there to get a little bit worried about those much quadricopters. I only have one anti-air after all. These quadricopters start moving over here. Kind of like useless to do this kind of move, like you move the quadricopter just a little bit forward, but he does not threat anything over here. I let him just take the center completely. I do not want to fight this thing right now. This is like a problem that I will have to face eventually, and I was just trying to stall this fight as much as I can. I put the missile over here, and after all, see how I go over my stuff. I put these units like this, so that the tank cannot reach it. As you can see, it cannot go. It has to be around here to shoot the missile and kill it. I don't know if it one-shot it. I believe it will, but I'm gonna check anyway. Switch attack defender. See a unit. As you can see, it one-shot it. Grad tank one-shots a missile in rows. So I put my units like this, so my infantry can cover it. There's no guarantee when he doesn't have a good way to hit KO the one infantry to reach the missile with the bikes. He has to risk a tank or a quadricopter. So I was practically inviting him to come here. If he decides to attack over here, I'm just gonna move all my tanks over here and attack him. As you can see, I'm starting to push a little bit forward over here, taking a little bit of space, moving my artillery to the city so I can get resupplies, and I start building more artillery. I'm just gonna stall it over here. Of course, he takes the capture. He starts to attack over here. He moved the anti-air over here to attack over here this infantry. That's gonna lower it a little bit the wall that I'm making over there. But it's no problem, it's just one infantry. I'm just gonna put it back and start moving my artillery over there. He moves the quadricopter down there. I feel that was weird because I have a quadricopter of my own. That's completely fine. I'm put my artillery over there. If he wants to stay there, I'm gonna shoot it with my artillery. And I just move more tanks. This is a steering contest, and I'm losing the steering contest. You can see he has 3 properties over me. Position is not equal. He has a slight advantage because he has 3k more than me. But I'm just holding up. I am waiting for him to do a mistake. I'm just building stuff and waiting. He killed one of my infantry. Make a little wall in my position. But nothing much to worry about. And he's also walling up, taking more space in the center. Like the first turns of this thing was just a staring contest all over. He's making a wall over here, I'm making a wall over here, I'm making a wall over here. He's starting to move around here. I moved the CO unit down here. I believe this is the turn I start making something. I pull back my stuff a little bit and I start attacking this infantry over here. Move my stuff around here so I make a little wall of 3 artillery together. And there you go. I sense a weakness over here and I start to capitalize on it. I gain a little bit of energy from this skirmisher. I have my missile over here, so he cannot move any battle copter around here, and I have 2 anti-air on range to start doing stuff. I join together my units so that in case he kills these 2 bikes over here, he doesn't get a guarantee to hit KO, because my C unit is covered by infantry and a tank. I buy another anti-air here, because I see that he was starting to move the battle copters around here, so I think maybe it would be a good idea to move some of my stuff over there. He starts attacking me. He takes a good hit on my CO unit with a battle copter, but he's on range of my missile, so that battle copter is completely dead. And he starts to move around here, closing the gap around here, and he starts to threaten a capture. He moved the CO unit over here. That was really dangerous because now the CO unit is active. He may threat a one hit KO with the CO unit to my CO unit by sniping it, but that's completely fine. I did not let him do that. He started to push down here on my wall, but I have 3 artillery, so I'm completely fine. I sacrifice one of my low HP infantry to start attacking, and I start just attack the artillery. My reasoning for attacking the artillery, and I put my rally cry. But first thing first, let's analyze this thing again. I sacrificed my infantry over there to try to get a better hit on this bike and to free up the space over here to attack the battle copter. I attack here, and I attack here, and I hit the bike, and I attack the artillery. A wall needs artillery and indirects in order to keep it up. You cannot just wall up with tanks alone. So I take this gambit over here, I attack the artillery to weaken up this part of the board. I attack the bike just to get super CO power, and I immediately pop it. If he wants to push me down, I'm just gonna counter that and start pushing you back with my CO power. And here I kill the barcopter and I go immediately to attack that grad CO unit. I set my tanks down there, I put the missile on my wood that I wanted. But like this rally cry, the first rally cry was really weak. My intention was not to win the game immediately. My intention was to kill this barcopter, lower up the artillery, and take a first strike on the grad tank to lower out their HP, forcing him to either join together or have less energy from me. I start pushing around here, I interrupt the car, I take a first strike over here, and I continue my attack. I take a hit here with the barcopter to give it the promotion. I sacrifice the barcopter to weaken up the artillery. I attack over here, I move the artillery over here, so that if he attacks my tank, he's gonna be shot. He has to pull back the infantry. His infantry cannot fight mine. He kills one of my tanks, kills another of my tanks. Attack with the barcopter is on range of my missile, so that barcopter is dead. Takes a good hit on my tank and it kills him, but because this thing is at lower HP, he gains less energy from it. And now here he shouldn't have put this thing over here. I think because this thing is already weak, he should have joined them together to have a full HP tank. Of course my anti was gonna be hit by that, but like this center is already a little bit weaker now. My barcopter survived that. Surprisingly, my bike again survived that. He had to use another anti-air to finish the job, but that's completely fine. The rally cry was just to touch a little bit of water, see his responses. I move my tank over here and I start getting a little bit of energy. I sack some stuff. My intention with moving my C unit over here was to get some energy. I realized that my intention was trying to get some energy to make some expansion and get more energy with the missile. I did not get some expansion, and I decided, you know what, let's go weaken the sea unit again. I move my stuff again. I start rolling up with my consolidate with my tanks. I left my missile there. That was a massive blunder. I shouldn't have left my missile like that in the open. But shit happens, you know. I forgot about my missile. But look at this. I have my 3 artilleries. These cities over here are completely mine. Eventually. I moved my barricopter over here because there's a bunch of anti-air over here. And here's only one. If I kill the anti-air, my barricopter can do whatever he wants. I buy another anti-air because I don't have any anti-air over here. He starts joining up his units. So that Grad tank is again at full HP. He moved the anti-air over here, of course. I'm moving barricopter over there. He moved the anti-air in range of my artillery. He has to pull back. I have too many artillery over here. But again, this is a 2 base versus 1 base. Even if I have a line of artillery, I don't have the unit count to continue to keep this wall. He attacks my missile and decides to finish, instead of finishing it up, he attacks the anti-air. My missile is still alive, which I was very grateful for that. And over here I decide I wanna pull back this thing and start attacking over here. Again, there's a full HP Grad C tank over here. I do not want to deal with that. But I said, you know what? Lingerundayo. I'm going the hell out of there. I start to try to capture over here. I was kind of forcing him to make a response over here. I'm losing 3k a turn, but the position and unit count is still fairly equal. So I need to gain some kind of advantage to close the gap together. And I start moving around here, making a little wall over here, covering my units. I put my wounded infantry to cover my stuff. I jumped together my tanks. I was scared a little bit of the Grad tank, trying to maybe one-shot in my tank or something. And I buy a bomber. This bomber, I believe, is the GOAT. This bomber over here is the GOAT. He, of course, hears something random and gets some expansion. And now the game was practically over. I was honestly kind of sad about this. I didn't expect that thing to one-shot that thing. It's one song Grad. What you gonna do? This is like Tabi win condition. There's a bunch of tanks over here. But like, I have to kill this thing right now, or this is gonna snowball and kill me in a few turns. I was very sad about this. I did not want him to get us on expansion, but he did it anyway. However, I had a little bit of hope because I have a bomber that if I send it over here, I may have a chance to do something. And he didn't buy any response. You see, 2 tanks. No anti-air he buy. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna die probably in a few turns. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna start attacking you. Maybe I can change this thing around. I get another rally cry. But instead of copying it, I decide to save it for later. I wall up over here with my anti-air. I build me a tank because I'm gonna save this rally cry for a little bit. That medium tank gonna get +2 movement eventually with my own rally cry. And here I'm starting to close the gap a little bit on the economy. It's now a 2k difference. And I start to wall up around here again. I trade another capture here. I move my stuff over there. Over here I'm winning. Down here I'm winning. Well, over here I'm completely losing. Look at this. This is supposed to be the weak side, by the way. And he gets 2 Sungrad. I was completely shocked by this. I did not expect him to get 2 Sungrad at this point of the game. I hover the resign button at this moment. Like, I thought that the game was over. And he had artillery inside the sun. This artillery over here is 2, 3, 4 range. This is absurd. What am I gonna do against that? There's nothing much I can do at this point. But hope never die, my friend, because today I'm gonna show you that even with 2 Sangrat, you can still maybe win the game if you have a little bit of hope. He has only 1 anti over here, so you can maybe even start to see what kind of plan I'm trying to make. You see this bomber over here? This bomber is the goat of this game. I pull my stuff back over here because he has freaking 2 Sangrat. He's gonna pop Super Seal Power and murder me over here. So you know what, I'm just gonna pull back. I don't wanna deal with that shit. I started to spam some mechs over here. I'm already winning down here, so I put my Super Seal Power to get that anti-air out the hell out of here. And for another reason, I want to get the unit count over here a little bit lower. Because in my mind, I was like, okay, he has Super Seal Power, he's gonna pop it probably. So maybe, if he pops the power and gets back at 0 zone, I may have a chance to win the game. That was my reasoning. But for some reason I do not understand, he did not pop the Super Seal Power. He attacks my medium tank, it survives miraculously, but he's putting himself on range of my bomber, and he has no anti-air, only this one over here. That anti is gonna take like 2 turns to get to my bomber. So as you can see right now, maybe there's a little bit of hope for me, because my opponent is starting to make some weird decisions. He buys a Duster. This is a good move. This anti over here is not gonna reach in time. Maybe the Duster will reach in time. 2 turns like 2. But this thing is closer to the sun, so he might get a really nice attack from it. I capture this property over here, and again the gap between the both of us is very close. I move my bomber over here and one-shot that thing, kill that tank over there. I join together my stuff. I try to kill as much stuff inside the zone as I can. My plan was to lower the deadbolt a little bit so that he cannot use that, and cutting himself off from down here. If he's over here on the top fighting me, I eventually will be able to win, because this is 2 bases versus 1. If Grat was around here, I would have lost the game. Or if he popped the Super Seal Power, but he did not. I buy a rocket to continue my stall down over here. That's the only reason I buy a rocket, but this rocket is also a goat in this map. My civilian is dead because artillery +1 range can snipe it, of course, and he kills my anti-air. Well, this one over here, this isn't. And Battlecopter with +1 range, but he make a big mistake. That Battlecopter's in range of my missile, and this Duster will be eventually if he's not careful. Or like, there's another mistake over here. He did not cover his artillery. Artillery needs coverage, my friend. Why are you putting your artillery on range of my stuff? I think my opponent got confident because I'm 2 Sangrat. I can win this game. I'm starting to do some reckless moves like this. But like, I understand everyone could get high on a victory, but you have to be very careful. Because you have 2 Sangrat doesn't mean you're winning the game yet. We still have an equal position, almost equal unit count. I have a bomber over here and you only have 1 Duster. Well, actually the anti-air, but if I kill those 2, I'm completely fine. And here I do something very, very risky. I want to kill that thing. So I send my stuff over there, and you know what? Damn, I did! I killed the Sea unit! I start to get a little bit of glimpse of hope because of this. I kill the CEO unit, so I actually may have a chance to win this game. Of course, my bomber is in range of a duster, but it's not covered by my missile. I was a lot of sad because of that, but now the dead ball is actually gone, so I decide, you know what, I'm gonna push back over here. He has no trade of the super seal power, so let's get back over here. I get this city over here and this city over there. I move my stuff down here and move my rocket ready to start making my wall again. He loads over here, and again I was really scared because of this. Again, as I explained, this is a 1 base versus 2 base, and he has his CEO unit over there. I was scared. I didn't want to give him any energy. I got traumatized by that Tucson grad. I got traumatized because of that. Of course, even though I was kind of winning over here, he has a lot of artillery already set up. He can just move all this tank over here and start making a wall of his own. As you can see over here, he started making a little wall over here. And he attacked my CEO unit. Already the advantage of the Tucson grad is already done here. So I have to start moving my stuff. I attacked the anti-air because I wanted to kill it so my bomber can do stuff. And my missile is covering my bomber. So if he moved his duster over here, he's gonna be dead. I move my missile over here to cover it a little bit more with my stuff. I see the threat of the grad tank, so I move my stuff back. I do not want to deal with that. More tanks and artillery. I'm gonna stall out him as much as I can. Like, the job of this wall over here is not to win the game, it's to stall out this motherfucker. Look at this! What am I gonna do about that? Of course, he actually realized that, hey, he's just gonna stall over here, I'm gonna move over here. And I was like, fuck, he did not fall for that. He killed my CO unit, attacks my bomber, but hey, missile rock, my missile is there for killing that duster. So my bomber is actually safe, and he go for a bomber. I was scared of that bomber, dude. I had no anti-air. My missile is not gonna hold up for longer. I see your load. I kill that motherfucker duster. I leave my bomber over there because, well, there's no more anti-air, so it's completely fucking over there. I attack the artillery. I buy an anti-air in response to that bomber. I buy a rig because I have a veteran bomber. That veteran bomber at full HP can one-shot anything. Any light tank, any anti-air. So I buy a rig to repair it, and for another reason, to start shipping some mechs. I know, see this. I put in my artillery like this for two reasons. First, it covers the tank, and second, if he moves back the tank over here, and if my artillery was over here, he will be able to shoot my artillery. It's kind of niche that I did that, but it still covers my stuff, so I'm completely fine putting my artillery like that. He moves the grad tank over there and starts capturing my cities. So the gap that we had a few turns ago of 3k is now closing up, and now he's gonna close down again because he's moving his stuff over there. He's joining his tanks. That tank is in jail, by the way. He's not going out. But there's not much I can do right now about that grand tank. He buys another duster. I guess it's to kill my bomber. I start building my temporary airport, and I decide, you know what, I'm gonna lower your unit count. I'm gonna attack that thing. That duster is gonna take about 2 turns to get there. And veteran missile. Where have you seen a veteran missile? I don't know why I did put it over there. I think it was to so that he doesn't go there. And you know, because I saw the Grad tank moving that up here, I decided, okay, you know what? If I'm gonna lose those cities over here, I might start trying to get some of this one on my own. So I move my artillery over here, taking some space. I leave the rocket there because any kind of move I did with that rocket is gonna end up in a kill of the tank. Here comes the bomber. I don't have much to do against that thing. I have one anti-air and a missile, but he's gonna be very careful with that missile. As you can see, he put it right out of the range of it. He starts pulling back a little bit. I have a big wall over here, so even if he has two bases, anything that he sends to that is going to the mid grinder. Simple as that. I have a rocket and a bunch of artillery. Yeah, sorry about that, I got another call. Anyway, continue. He joins the tanks together. It's a 9 HP Grad tank. It's still very threatening. But I'm completely fine with that. I finished building my temporary airport, so I sent my bomber down there. And I got a super seal power, so I decided to pop it. Boom! Bomber dead. When you see a wheel close to his power, like this, you do not move your bomber like that. It's on range of my anti-air, dude. So that bomber is dead. It's a 1 HP bomber. It's not gonna do anything. Boom! I start moving some of my tanks over here, because if he's not gonna fight me over here, I'm gonna move my aggression towards here. I attack the artillery. And now, why didn't attack it? I'm not trying the CO unit because even though he's at full HP, he's at 8 energy. To get some expansion he needs 12 energy. So he needs to kill one unit and do 2 more damage. He cannot do that thing on one turn. That's why I didn't target the CO unit. I decided to continue my attack over here. I was like, you know what, you can have free energy, I don't care. I'm gonna keep my aggression over here. I built, because of moving my tanks over there, I weaken up my wall over here. So I need to move my stuff a little bit back, in case he tries to do some kind of retaliation over there. And he has no anti-air over here. So I decided to move this battlecopter that is running out of fuel for staying here so long. He moves the bomber back, of course. He kills my anti-air. I was very sad about this. He's a 3 energy to get sun expansion again. But my gambit kind of worked, moving my tanks over here, because now he has to move his tanks over here. Which is what I wanted. I wanted to free up some attention. This is called attraction, you know? He's moving all his stuff back to the center where I wanted to fight. And the CO unit is around here, and I don't have to worry more about that. He takes a hit on my missile for some reason. It's a duster, he doesn't do much damage. He buys another bomber. I move my bomber to here to heal. I attack the artillery. I don't want him to consolidate into a wall again. So I go for killing everything I can, those artilleries. I move my tanks up there. I'm kind of like trapping the CO unit over here on the one side, on the one base side, so he doesn't have any reinforcements, because he's gonna get some expansion. I cannot stop him from getting some expansion. What I can do is making he has no units to get the sun expansion. He wants the duster over here. He wants to kill the bomber. He wants to prevent him to healing the bomber. And maybe to go for the battlecopter, of course. My bomber dies if he is hit by the duster, so I have to pull it back. I realize that even though I have a temporary airport, I'm probably not gonna deploy some air units for the moment, so I decided to move it down, I believe. And as I said, I lower, even though he gets some expansion. Look at this. There's nothing over here. There's not much to worry about. For now, at least. And as I said earlier, I moved the bomber down here. I don't want him to lose that bomber. It's very important. He's a veteran bomber. I decide to go there and go for 2-hit KO. And I start moving my tanks over here. I'm pushing for getting the camp tower. If I get the camp tower, I definitely have a way to win this game. But like, for 25 turns, I was losing hard. And I'm still losing, look at this! Position is equal, I have a slight advantage on unit count, but on unit value, but I'm losing 7k money per turn. I need to get some advantage or I'm gonna lose the game. I go for this city over here, I start walling up. All his tanks are over here in the center. He has 3 tanks over here, I have a bunch of artillery and a rocket, so I put my stuff over here and I start walling up. I try to take this city back. He starts attacking me for some reason. I did not understand this attack at all. These tanks over here are all going to the mid binder. Like, sure, he wake up my tanks, but he's giving me free energy for another rally cry. And this is gonna backfire eventually, as you will see in a few turns. He attacks the duster to the mech. He drops the captor, but this is free promotion for my artillery down here. And he starts moving his troops over here. Here I start attacking him. And get my super seal power, I pop it. Boom! He made the same mistake again. This is out of range, right? If he was a little bit more careful with his bomber, I think he would have won the game, because this bomber should not have been there, especially after giving me all this free energy. I start capturing, and I start running some properties over here in the center, and I move my reinforcements immediately. That rally cry was really weak, I'm not gonna lie. But like, the whole reason of that rally cry was to kill this bomber. That bomber was gonna kill me if I let it live. I buy another anti over here for this duster to dissuade him from coming for my bomber. Only for that. He moves the bomber back. Unfortunately, a full HP anti-air does not want a bomber from wheel without any promotions. So it's a coin flip, I believe. And I failed the coin flip twice because these bombers are healing up. He starts moving towards the center. Again, I don't think this is a good move. This artillery is barely coverage. Now he's just throwing away units. And again, by the way, there's no CO tank. Where's the CO unit? Where does the CO unit go? He haven't CO load in a while. And I thought that finally he was gonna CO load. Don't forget to CO load, guys. That's very important. I decided to attack over here. This is free energy for me. But I did a mistake over here. I think I should have first shot here with a missile, attack over here, and then move the CO unit. I got tunnel vision, so that was my mistake. That was very stupid mistake. I could have get another rally cry very easily in a few turns if I did my attacks first. And now I did this. I love this. I put my rocket over here because now this rocket over here is gonna thread over the center. I love that move. And I put my missile over here. This was very risky. Okay, I understand now. Okay, I did not shoot with a missile because there was gonna be no units over here. Now I see why. Okay, I see why I didn't shoot with my missile. If I have shot with my missile, it will be alone against these tanks. I didn't want to lose my missile. Okay. I didn't remember that. I moved my battlecopter here to the center, kind of like baiting him to dare to attack it. I have my stuff over here. If he goes with the duster, then I kill it with my anti-air. And now, as you can see, the wall over here is starting to make a little bit of a push. He did attack my missile. I was very sad with this because this missile over here was hard carrying me for a while now. I'm gonna lose that city probably. This is a 5k difference, but position is still. Unit count and value is still equal, but again, he's throwing away units for no reason whatsoever. Yeah, sure, this looks scary, but my base is right here. My reinforcements are gonna come immediately. This is not a good move. I put down my missile back and I start attacking. All of this is free energy. I wall up with my infantry. I tried to trade a capture over here, and that anti-air is dead. And I start to threaten over here on the center. I get my bomber repaired. In one more turn, this bomber is gonna be back at full strength. It's a veteran bomber. It's a very big threat. I move my artillery over here. I don't really care if this artillery gets shot. I have artillery and a rocket over there. He has a tank on the edge cube, and he haven't seen a lot. Actually, I want to demonstrate this. If this thing was loaded, 168 to like look at this simulation. If he did see a load over here, oh shit. My bad. You play a whole round. Yeah, there you go. Over here. Look at this. Let's say I see a lot over here. Boom! Rocket is useless then. Sure, you may lose the CO unit. But like this rocket over here, if he does nothing about it, he's gonna stay there forever. I would have done go for this honestly. And if he's scared of, in fact, he could even. There's no risk over here. Actually, there's no risk. This is completely fine. Actually, this is completely fine. Worst case scenario, he gets shot by an artillery, but like this wall is dead. If he did see a lot, but he didn't see a lot. He goes for my missile again. My missile is useless at this point, but he did his job. He did his job, and he didn't see a lot. He sent his stuff to the mid grinder, directly in range of my artillery. If he have CO load and kill my rocket, then this wall over here would have died a long time ago. But this looks scary, but again, I have my base over here, so this is not scary at all. And my bomber has a full HP back, and he's a veteran now, so he's going back, and he's still kicking. I moved my tank back over here. I joined my tanks together, but like, even if this thing looks scary, it's not scary at all. I have my bases over here. I have another rally cry ready. And he has 2 bombers on the way, but I'm not scared of those things. I have anti-air, I have my missile that's gonna heal up eventually. I had to let these tanks die, unfortunately. But like, this is not scary at all. At least for me. I see a lot of units over here that are gonna help me destroy this. And you will see again why spamming bomber is not gonna make you win the game if you don't utilize your bomber like that. So I move I put my CO power, and again same mistake. He put a bomber in range of my anti-air. It's the 3rd time in this game, by the way. Again, this is not scary at all. You're just sending units to the mid grinder. You're not gonna win like that. I move my bomber over here. This is a big threat over here. He has 0 anti-air. Has 1 over here. But like, I kill a single anti-air, everything falls apart because of my bomber. Again, he haven't used his bomber in any moment because of my rally cry anti-air. But like, how many rally cries did I use in this game? And I haven't won yet. And precision is equal. Equal again. Unit count is not equal, but value is equal. Guys, if there's life, there is hope. That's it. You might be losing a game hard. 5k. He has unit count advantage, unit value advantage. But you can still win the game. So if you're in a game right now and you're losing, I want you to check again and try to win that game. That bomber is doing whatever he wants. He's on a birthday right now. There's no anti-air over here. The anti-air is over here. Like, this bomber over here, it can do whatever he wants. I start moving my artillery up over here. Because, well, I have my cities over here. He has no infantry. There's no point for me to try to continue to have him over here. And I need some units over here. Because I'm getting a little bit overrun. But again, this is hyper diving. This is not gonna do anything. I have all my bases over here. You cannot take a base without the support of artillery of indirects. And again, he has a bomber over here, but it's in range of my artillery, of my anti-air. And he put it closer on range to my anti-air, by the way. I start attacking. I go and attack the anti-air. He haven't got a single shot with these bombers. I have never seen someone have a bomber and not shoot with it because they're not using it correctly. I move my artillery over here, trying to move them towards over here to make my own wall of my own on the center. He started to wall up of his own, but he has no CO unit. How many turns have passed and I haven't seen a single CO unit, grad CO unit? These bombers again, these bombers are like, ooh, I'm gonna go and shoot. Nah, anti-air got hands. I'm gonna go back to the airport. It's impressive. I'm surprised that those bombers did nothing. Position is starting to equalize again, because again, there's nothing he can do much. I'm 59 energy, by the way, so there's gonna be another rally cry in this game. I started to move my infantry over here. I'm gonna take these cities back, and I start moving my artillery over here because I'm not gonna waste money doing artillery. I'm just gonna put my own artillery over here. Simple as that. And I'm using this base to transport some mechs. I put my rocket over here. My plan is to make a wall around this area over here where my rocket can cover for them. He finally CO loads again. He started to make a little wall over here. Well, I guess his plan was to wait for these bombers to repair because I only have 2 anti-airs, so if he kills those 2 anti-airs, his bomber can do whatever they want. But here's a big mistake, you know? He's walling up over here. That's a problem. Why? He's gonna get caught up if he puts like this on this corner over here. These mountains are gonna make him not be able to wall up as well as he wants, until you will have to move there and then move here. He'll be wall up like this. I'm doing the same mistake too. I'm moving over here, but my plan is to move over here so my rocket can cover for me. I move my artillery over here. Again, he cannot shoot at this artillery because of the rocket. Well, if he moves, he gives me rally cry. So I'm just starting to make this final wall so that if I get rally cry, I can make a game-ending push and win the game. I started to capture here, and this is the moment he lost the game. He got reckless because he got angry, greedy, trying to get that property back. He buys a fighter, trying to get this bomber. I am not scared of the fighter. The fighter does not scare me. My bomber is gonna be completely fine. A pet bomber is 100% fine. He put the CO unit back, and yet he's doing a little wall over here, but he's putting himself right where I want to. And I move my stuff over here because I'm gonna, you know what? Free rally cry. I'm gonna get it. I pull my bomber back to get a fuel pack because it's running a little bit out of fuel, and I want that thing full fuel for what is gonna come next. I move myself up here again because I want to get these cities. Like I'm already on a winning position. I have rally cry. I have a big wall over here. I have a lot of mechs around here. So if I pop rally cry, it's game ending. But I was scared of the fighter and the bombers, so I decided, you know what? If I'm gonna pull my rally cry, I'm gonna guarantee my victory. So I'm gonna start getting the cities first, consolidate my troops, and start preparing my march to my winning rally cry. By the way, I got some glasses. It's for blue colors of the computer for screens. I got a little bit of antigmatis. I know the word in English, myopia, but just a little bit. And to prevent that, I had to go get a few glasses for that. But again, I'm starting to make my march over here. Look at this beautiful wall. This is Gauge Wet Dream. 3 artillery together, and a rocket, and an artillery over here. I move my stuff from here to here, and I move my tanks over here. My plan is to unify these 3 bases together so this one big final push. I did not pop rally cry yet. I'm waiting and patiently. Every single unit that I bought that is over here is gonna be 1 extra more unit that I'm gonna use for that sweet rally cry I'm gonna pop in a few turns. I think it's next turn that I pop my rally cry because I sense a little weakness in the position, and I decide, you know what? So no, not yet. If I rocket, but in 2 turns, I believe I popped the rally cry and won the game. I start again my push, slowly but steady. I'm putting my mechs on the front so that they will be the first ones to get the extra movement. My stuff is running out of fuel from doing these small correction moves, but I'm slowly moving. I have medium tanks, I have artillery, I have anti-air, I have mechs, I have a full HP bomber veteran, and I move more infantry and mechs. I am getting ready for that sweet rally cry. Next turn is the rally cry. He moves the bomber back for healing, he puts the rocket over here, and I believe, yeah, this is the turn. This is the turn I win. I pop my best rally cry ever in my life. Like, I don't think I will ever pop a rally cry this good as this. That's how good it was. Check the unit count and value. I'm not gonna say anything, just look. So we'll charge forward, a pops over CO power and immediately kills an infantry. Kills another bike. Send bomber to kill that tank. Boom! 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 Rocket is dead. And I decided to start attacking over here. You will see why. Boom! Boom! Oh no, that bomber is dead! Oh. Boom! 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 Anti-air dead. Boom! 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 These units over here are to slow down over here. Look at that! 100k of value gone in one turn! And not only that, I have a bunch of artillery over here covering all my stuff. And all these cities are mine, by the way. I'm just gonna capture them. I already supplied my stuff because all these things running out of fuel. I need to resupply them. But like, see what I said a few turns ago? Putting himself over here. Now all of this is trap. All of this is trap. When I look at this, I was like, oh my god, everything is trap. He only has this corridor to move and bring stuff. But everything here is 100% trap. I couldn't believe that this was real. All of this stuff is trap. Over here, I just need to put something on top of the HQ, and that's it. Everything over here is dead. It's trap. I start shooting with my artillery first because I'm gonna move my stuff, and then boom! That Gratan is dead again. And that's exactly what happens. I move my stuff over here, and everything is trapped again, and I get another rally cry. All of this stuff was trapped in a corner, nowhere to run. And game is over at this point. What are you gonna do about this? I have another rally cry ready. I consolidate healing all your stuff. I was surprised by this, honestly. Like I was able to turn around this game that was losing like for 25 turns. I beat 2 Songrat, and now I'm marching to the HQ to win. I decided to go for another bomber. I was thinking to go for the route winning because even though I have a bunch of stuff over here, I didn't think I had enough stuff to cover to kill off all of this. The bomber specifically, because I was expecting him to kill my anti-air, so that I can no longer kill the bomber. And this bomber will be here, will be killing whatever thing I have already. I pop my super C power because I can and win the game with that. Boom, boom, boom. This is just over at this point. I think I should have gone for the... I think I should have done that a little bit better. No, I should have killed this bomber so that I could start capturing the HQ. I think that was a mistake. Oh man, I could trap it. I could trap it. I could trap it over there. Move this thing over here. Ah, but the anti-air freeze. No, I couldn't drop it. I mean, I have a bunch of stuff. If he one-shot the barrel copter, I can just kill him with my tanks or something. I sent another bomber over there. I sent this to weaken up his reinforcements. Saying over here. I moved to try to get the count tower to make my winning a little bit easier, and this infantry just to move there on top of the airport and win the game. I trapped this bike over here, and I'm just moving stuff. I pay a fighter to kill the bomber, but I don't think it's gonna reach on time. My bomber is completely fine, he's a veteran, he can survive all of that. But like, game is over at this point. Opponent Avalanche doesn't resign. I respect that. So yeah, I just try to capture. I did not know why I didn't move to the HQ. I think I was laser focused to the routing winning. I believe I could make it. I really like the routing winning. It's more stylish, I believe. I set my stuff to try to kill that bomber. I start consolidate over here. Again, I have a bunch of indirects over here, so I can absolutely 100% kill whatever comes from those bases. And I have a mech and 3 tanks over here, so whatever comes from this base is also dead. And this infantry is coming to the airport to capture it. Look at the massive unit count and value difference now. Fighter goes for the... and he resigns. That was a very long game. I was weeks playing this game, asking people for help because I do not know how to play against Grad. But make this game an inspiration for you, that if you are losing hard on a game of Tiny Wars, even if you are hovering the resign button on a game, remember that if there's life, there is hope, and you can still turn the game around. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. Probably gonna take ages for this to upload, but like, it was a massive game, an epic game, I said. Very fun to play this. It was very fun. Very fun. Thank you for watching and see you next time.